Good morning, dear friends and colleagues. We meet today for the first time of this year, but for a rather sad time. We are all not only worried, but we are deeply hurt in our souls and in our hearts by what is happening these days. It is a complete change of our living situation. It is a complete change of how we will behave in the future, how we will live, and what our expectations are. We are thrown back in a way 30 to 80 years in time. We are back to the Second World War and the years and decades after. I must say, born in 1941, having survived my first years during war conditions, I had hoped that for the rest of the year, we would not ever again experience such disasters. They are of extreme cruelty. They are human catastrophe, what is happening right now in Europe. It is the questioning of the basic values which we have of human dignity and of human rights. Young people, and not only young people, are forced to kill each other, either to attack or to defend. But killing each other is against humanity. Whatever the reason may be, there is no justification. We have abandoned in Europe, because of our values and of our society, the highest penalty. That means taking away life from other people, even if they are criminals of the extreme kind. But that is no longer part of our society and of our understanding. I would like to greet you from our Russian friends and members. I'm in constant contact with Vladimir, who is the vice chair of the Russian Union of Pensioners, and we exchange almost by day. He's not very well these days because he had surgery, and so we supported each other when we were not very well. And he has very much appreciated what Eurag has published lately. That is the text which you find on our webpage, where we express our sorrows and our concerns about the situation in the Ukraine. And he said something which I find important. He said, this declaration is humanitarian. It is not political. This declaration, I like it, said Vladimir. I like it very much. It is not to us to judge on who is right and who is wrong. We are concerned with humanity, with human rights, with human dignity. The rest depends on the politicians. Let's hope that the politicians are humans and that they behave in a human way and with human perspectives. Let's hope that. I would like to invite you right now for 1 minute of silence, which goes to the Ukrainian population. It goes also to the Russian population, and it goes to the rest of the population in Europe. Let's keep 1 minute of silence destined to peace among ourselves. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome you all, and I would like to welcome particularly warmly Galina from Kiev. Galina, it is good that you could join us. The times are extremely difficult, and we understand how abandoned the Ukrainian population must feel. Let's reflect today what we, as a non-governmental, non-political organization, how we can be helpful. Let's reflect together. And in the first place, Galina, it is up to you to share messages from the Ukraine which you would like to express with us. Please.
Thank you, Duke. Dear friends, dear colleagues, I want to thank you for your support. But let me express my own position, my own view. We're not politicians, we are. We are. We also are involved in policy building, in politics building. Otherwise, we are not the civil society organizations. If we are the civil society organizations, so politics also here. We are also politicians. We are all politicians. Otherwise, we are, sorry, nothing. I understand you that you sympathize Ukrainians and Russians. You know that so many cities in Ukraine are annihilated. They don't exist anymore. All the people say that Nazis didn't bomb the cities that fiercely. They were bombed in 44 and 45 by UK and the US. But in Ukraine, there are some cities which are completely, fully destroyed. In a small town of Bucha, the home for elderly is blocked. They can't live it. They can't go there. They are dying one by one. I can enumerate you many towns and cities and villages which are ruined and people are dying under these pieces of concrete. Younger people with kids had left the country. Older people remain. People with disabilities remain. So maybe this is not an issue of politics. What is it? What is it? We are heavily bombed. We can't deliver, maintain aid to these cities because every truck, every car is shot by Russians. So we can't move on the roads. Now I received the money from World Jewish League from London. I can buy some food. I can't deliver it because nothing can move on the road. So is this political issue or not political issue? It's up to you. You can imagine a person lying on the pavement, dying of starvation. You're standing nearby, eating pizza or whatever, and express your huge concern and huge compassion to this dying person and go home happy, safe, and you declared your compassion. It's true. It's true. I asked you, dear colleagues, dear friends, to express your support in the form of appeal to the governments, to NATO, to shelter our sky. You didn't, okay? It's your choice. So people are dying. Children. Have you ever seen the children which is killed by bombing to several parts? So several parts of the body of the child lying on the pavement. Well, we can't shelter the sky by ourselves. Even more, we ask more weapons, we ask more combat planes. old combat planes, Soviet made, which are about 30 years of age. They are in former Warsaw Treaty countries. These are old, they're more than 30 years old. We ask them, give us, at least we shall do something. No, no, no. We ask about helmets, we ask about armor vests. We are ready to buy them. We collect money from our population to purchase this for our territorial defense. Our army has the helmets, has the vest, armored vests, and this is for our territorial defense for normal men aged 18, 75, 70, even 70. No, we have compassion, we have solidarity. Okay, let it be. We are dying. About 2 million population have left our Ukraine. Perhaps Europe will support them, will feed them. The rest, maybe will die. Who knows? They haven't bombed Kiev yet because Kiev is protected. This night, 2 Russian combat planes were shot above Kiev. I don't know how long we shall spend. We'll do our best, of course. I hope we shall survive. So, this is the situation. If you have questions, I can reply. And I must also remind you that this is not Putin who flies in the combat planes bombing the cities. This is not Putin himself shelling our cities, hospitals, maternity homes. These are Russian citizens, Russian boys. If you ever heard the interviews made on the Russian streets, they fully support, completely support. Now the support for Putin has raised. Well, okay. We shall resist until we are alive. I have nothing to add. So,
Dirk, your microphone is not up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice. I said, thank you, Galina. We are deeply moved by what you shared so openly with us. We are deeply moved in our hearts, in our feelings, and also in our heads. These are messages which are very important. There are aspects which we totally support, others which we may be cautious about. For whatever reason, I do not take any position right now. But I would like to invite everybody right at this point in time to contribute to our today's meeting by your own feelings, by your own opinion, by what can we do together, not individually only, that we decide anyway, but what can we do together, be helpful, supportive, somehow hopes for those who are so cruelly endangered. Dana, I hand over to you. It is your traditional role that you moderate the discussion round. Please do so.
Good morning. So I am still, very, very much moved with Galina's words. But Galina, I exactly knew what you will tell us, because it is so apparent what is going on, and we all are aware that our possibilities are very limited. And I can assure you that I have never, ever seen in my own country such a wave of solidarity like now. We have got over 1,000 Ukrainian mothers and children, and we are creating conditions for them that they can really live here before they can go back, or if they want to go back. And we are giving them the same rights like the Czech citizens, like health insurance and job permits and every accommodation and money support and everything. So I know that whatever we are doing all over in Europe, it is not enough in your situation, that you would need that military help that nobody dares to enter, because everyone understands that it would trigger the World War III, and that it could be just the end of the existence of at least Europe. So I would like to give a floor to others because we have an enormous turnout today, and it is just depicting what big concern of all of us is the situation in Europe. I also invited Christina from Armenia, who went through a war recently. I don't know if she is still with us. Christina, are you still with us or not? She could not stay for more than 10 minutes. Maybe she already had to leave. Yeah, she left already. Yeah. So, all right. So I know that I have that alphabetic order where are 26 people, but I would like maybe first invite Carmen Stadelhofer, who announced that she is just in the process of filming some project, but it was very important for her to tell us what her team is able to provide, how they are able to help. So Carmen, are you with us still?
No, Carmen sent me an email half an hour ago, and she said she really wanted to participate, but for the moment she was in the middle of a film. So
she said for the first half an hour she will be with us.
Yeah.
So that's why
I don't see her name now.
You can't see it. So all right.
She's not there now, right now.
Yes. Yeah.
If she comes back.
So now, I will just take.
She knows she's very concerned. She wanted to participate, but she has a film. She's doing a film, so she can't be there.
All right. Thank you, Monique.
Okay.
So I will just go through my alphabetic order and give you the floor to tell to all of us, not only to Galina, what is your proposal, how you can help, how you feel about the whole situation, and what to say. So Elisabeth Meyer from Austria is with us. Elisabeth.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Well, we are all shocked and flabbergasted, more or less, about the situation. I only know that where I live, there are organizations collecting money, or there is a big pharma concern. Well, they have, it's a wholesaler really, and they are willing to donate a lot of medical products, which are going to be transported to Lemberg by lorry or truck. And this is something I know about, and we are involved too because of personal connections. So we try to be helpful in this respect. And also we collected something like 10,000 euros, and then we are going to buy blankets, etc., and which are also going to be sent to Lemberg. And maybe take a refugee in our home, for example, a young mother and children or something like this. This is the next step that I personally am willing to do, and we could. but it is a very, very terrible situation. It's a difficult situation. We are just sitting there and watching, more or less. That's our attitude. The Austrians always consider they are such a small country, and what can we do? Of course, there are little things we can do. Just collect, send, transport, and organize, and maybe certainly take on refugees, also in private homes. This is what we think about at the moment.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I am coming to Milos Weiss. Milos?
Yes. Dear Galina, dear Ukrainian people, my heart is with you. I am so sorry and so unhappy what you said about the bombing of villages and towns and cities. The places I know very well because I spent more than 4 years in your beautiful country. So I know your people and I'm very, very sorry. My heart is with you. I am also very sorry that the Kiev conference, due to this escalating tensions, could not take place, of course. Today is everything clear, and let us be glad that we can see each other and hear each other, at least in this way. We, the people of the world, can deal with the situation. It is our duty. Our governments have to do more than until now. I know and I heard you that you need to not only support purchasing goods, housing, but you need weapons. I know that our government, Czech government, offered and sent some weapons to your country, and I hope that it helped you. And those of us who could have expressed support for the Ukrainian nation in their possible ways, believe me, either financially or purchasing goods or offering housing for the refugees. I suffer when I see other people suffering. Today we see that there are great losses on both sides, especially young men who should start families, contribute to the prosperity of their countries, and instead they are on the battlefields. It is an inexcusable act of the Russian government, and time and humanity will not forgive them. I would like to express my opinion that if we want to avoid World War III, it is necessary for strong countries of the world to push Russia to withdraw their troops from territory of your country. It is also necessary for the leaders of Russia to come to their senses, to back down from their demands, and to go on to negotiate and start to smooth out the consequences of the fighting. This would prevent further bloodshed of the both sides. I can't pray, I don't know how to do it, but in this case, I would make an exception. I want peace to rule the entire planet. And I have to say how beautiful words sang John Lennon. Nothing to kill or die for. Imagine all the people living life in peace, sharing all the world. Even in this sad moment, I would like to wish our women, mothers, daughters, granddaughters, only well-being, love, respect for them, especially to the Ukrainian women, but also to Russian mothers whose sons die on the battlefield. At least I agree with the gender equality anywhere. Women must have the same rights as men, although we all know that in some countries or corners of our planet, it is not the case. Dear Galina, once again, I'm so sorry. I know that your situation is very bad, but don't forget that we all are with you. We cross the fingers, and I hope and I believe, we all believe that the situation will be better in a short time. That's my contribution to you.
Thank you, Milos. I got
May I remind you the year 1939? Did it stop this World War III? Poland, Czechoslovakia. 1939. Did it stop? Did it prevent the World War III?
So, Galina, I just wanted to, it was Miloš Weiss from the Czech Republic. I got a notice that people don't know from which country we are coming, that I should always add a country. I wanted to tell to the others that I have already offered accommodation in my home to Galina 1 week ago. The same invitation she got from Jaap, the same from Arlette, from Belgium. And her answer was always the same: I will never leave my country. So Galina is, you know, I almost want to cry. And I can understand that you can have similar feelings like we had in 1938, the Munich Treaty, when, you know, when the countries decided to make an agreement with Hitler and to give us, you know, to give the Czechoslovakia, you know, to Hitler. So you might have a similar feeling that the Europe is not doing enough for your safety, but my country even got into those military factories which are producing weapons, and they got some free weapons for Ukraine, and we have collected, I think, 2 billion crowns already for a help to Ukraine. But I know that in your situation, it is like a drop, you know, drop into a pond. So I would like to give a floor to Denmark, Peter Hansen.
Yes, thank you. Since February 24th, we have all been in shock. And I think that Galina simply gave such a moving description of the situation. And I must say that in this situation, Eurag cannot just stand as the innocent part, just telling the partners to find peace. We must say that this situation has established such a violence of all rights, human and national rights. It is not acceptable to just invade another country. We have to tell the ordinary Russian, don't support that. Tell your government it is not fair. We have to, and Dirk, mind you that, we have to tell our friends in Moscow that they have to tell their government to stop aggression. I like the similarities that is put on the table. Munich, 1938, the betrayal of the Czechoslovakian people. We can put in 1953, occupation or intervention in Eastern Germany, 1956 Hungary, 1968 Czechoslovakia. We must, in this situation, take a clear stand and say, this is not acceptable. And then I can add that in Denmark, such overwhelming solidarity. We are sending weapons, but as Dana said, it is like a drop in a pond because we are not able to. We cannot convince our countries to interfere with real weapons that can match what is attacking Ukraine. But we must ask for, of course, immediately ceasefire. And then we must, what has already appeared to me, that by doing this, Russia has put itself into a corner in world history, a corner where they will have to start from the bottom in order to be accepted by the rest of the world. We cannot live with partners that do not respect the simple basic rules of humanity. So Galina, I know I feel so empty-handed supporting you, because it is only words and maybe some money, but money will not solve the situation. So we can only hope that politicians on both sides will agree in a ceasefire, and then from there trying to find a plausible solution. My feelings are so strong. Just one thing last. My grandchild called me and we had a talk, and he described how moved he was. But he was shocked when I said that this is maybe in my lifetime the worst situation we have ever faced. I can assure you, Galina, everyone in Denmark, and I know from all over the world, is supporting the people of Ukraine. You are having such a special role, but I also know it is not enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And I would like to give a floor to Paul Anker Andersen, also Denmark Global Seniors.
I have not many things to add to Peter's comment. He talked about the solidarity from Denmark and the Danish people, and I totally agreed in everything he said. I just want to add one thing of a more personal kind, that when Galina speaks about her situation and urges us to help, I feel so powerless that I can only give her my solidarity and not what they really need in this situation. And they fight alone for all of us in a way. And I feel very sad and powerless that I cannot give her the no-flight zone that was really what the Ukrainian people need now. And you, Dana, you have explained to us all that the situation, and we don't like to treat the Third World War, but it is a very sad situation, and I understand that to give Galina our solidarity now seems really as an empty gesture in some ways, because we can't give what she needs. I'm sorry for that. I think also about the future of Europe, because I can't offer so much help right now, but in the future of Europe, it will be very necessary that we do not draw a new curtain. The only thing who can prevent this from happening in the future is more directly contact between the people and the people's civil society organizations like ours. And I hope that in the future and in the long perspective that we still are able to discuss and to develop a solution together with people from Russia, people from Ukraine, and people from Denmark. I have just we have just started a project just short before this happens under the Nordic Council to some project for elderly persons in Finland, Russia, and Denmark, together with Sveta Hansen from House of Projects. Now, what is happening now? They close down the support from the Nordic Council because they don't like to support Russia in this situation. We have to be very much aware of the long-term consequences of this, and to support that still the civil society organizations manage to discuss and help each other because we cannot interfere in politics as it is right now, but we can interfere in activities together and in solidarity. I feel strongly for the situation of the Ukrainian people right now.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. So it is what the Ukrainians must feel, that we are watching this dreadful live show on our televisions and we are just powerless. And it is how probably all of us are feeling. But what you said, Paul, it is very important in the future to develop a much more direct dialogue between the nations, that it would never happen what happened now, that they would use the power to get their will, that it must be much more invested into dialogues in the future to prevent some such situation. So I'm coming to France. Monique Epstein, Francois Petelat, and Moira Alland are supposed to be with us. So Monique, you are the first.
Okay, hi. I just want to say that Françoise might have, no, she's still there. But we have another one from France, which is Diana Smith also, okay, after Moira. Okay, I cannot, I have, like everybody, not much to say. The only thing what we are trying to do is to go to demonstrations. It's perhaps a habit in Paris, but we have every Saturday 3 demonstrations, and I think it's the same all over France. And then we can make pictures and put them on Facebook. Okay, it's really not much. Then what we are trying to do is to, there are some, how to say, on internet, people think that Ukraine should be inside Europe. So there are people who say you can sign and say that you want that Ukraine should be in Europe as soon as possible. I mean, so that's perhaps something important. Then I have in my office a Ukrainian girl who, I mean, she was born in Odessa, and at the moment she's not working. Why? Because she went to Romania to take her parents. Her parents came from Odessa to Bucharest by car, and so that's people who are leaving, and they are 60 years old, and so she's taking them to Paris now, and they are going to live with her for the moment. So that's what we see here. The other thing what I would say about Russian, we know somebody also who used to be on Facebook, a Russian woman, Irina, and she put the Ukrainian flag on her Facebook already 2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago, I think. But the problem is that Facebook doesn't work anymore in Russia, I think. So we don't have any news from them. That means, of course, that some Russians do not agree with Putin, but that's true for every war. It's the same. It was the same in France when some French people helped the Jews and some people did not help the Jews in France. There are always people who help and people who try to help and people who do nothing. Okay, anyhow. I know that what we are doing is nearly nothing, and neighbors bring food to some places, places opening everywhere, but that's all. I cannot say much more. I will, okay, I give the floor to Moira, I suppose. She's there. Moira, and then perhaps Diana.
Well, so thank you, Monique. I apologize. I can see that I skipped Rosemary Kurz only because she was not registered for this meeting. So next time, Rosemary, you must let me know. So I am giving you the floor. Yeah.
You give me the floor. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. In Graz at the university, the Austrian Students' Union is providing lectures on Ukraine history and situation for our young students so they may understand the situation from the bottom up. This we must know that our younger generations have to learn a lot of things what we just discussed. So I do a plea to you, get in contact with the younger generations. My feeling for the Ukraine people is immense, You know, I'm 86 and I'm already lived through the First World War, and I'm very anxious what's going to happen now. And whatever I can do for the Ukraine people and telling the young students, I will do, I'm quite sure. By the same time, I'm still in contact with the Russian friends, 4 of them. I give them the notice just now that we are what we are doing. And I think it's very important to think for the Russian people too, because they suffer, because they can't do anything. The new law from Putin just prevents anything. Even our journalists left the country. So if you have contacts to Russia, just do it. And I love both people, Ukrainian and the Russians. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rosemary. And now I would like to give the floor to Moira Allan from France. Moira?
Thank you, Dana. I talked to you as the co-founder of the Pass It On Network and also as a member of the board of OLDUP. And I hope that my colleague from OLDUP, Jean-Ray Capet, who is here for the first time, will also add what he thinks. Everybody's expressed already what we think, but we've come to a real point where all of our actions need to be examined under another microscope. Because it's true, we are civil society organizations, but how effective can we be? And how effective are we? And how much have we been trying? And how much have we not used all the means at our disposal in a general sense that can lead up to this kind of a situation? It's absolutely unbelievable and unthinkable that people who are living peaceful lives have suddenly find themselves as refugees, and this country is in the state that it is. And as we've all been saying, tomorrow it could be us. It's very close. What can we do? It's we all, as Monique says, the demonstrations, and there's been a tremendous wave of solidarity. And I know that people are collecting things from all over the place in France. I have a friend down in a little village in the Dordogne, and the mayor has collected all sorts of things. But as Galina says, even if these things get to the borders, how are they going to get to the people? Because the bridges and the roads and everything else have been broken down. And it isn't, I don't know, it's just, as we all feel so emotional about it, but what in fact can we do? Our president of France is the president of the European Union at the moment, and he's been talking, as we all know, for hours at an end with Mr. Putin, and it doesn't seem to get anywhere at all. I don't know. It's just we can do what we can do and try to help on a personal level and on our societies. But I think we have to stand up and talk to our governments and say, stop this and help Ukraine. Don't stand on the sidelines, get involved. And whatever that is going to lead to is just too frightening to think about.
Yeah. So thank you, Moira. And you are so right that it can be us. you know, the next step could be Europe, the European
Yes.
countries, and we are, you know, such a short distance all over. So I am getting now Diana Smith from Paris. Yeah, Diana,
Hello.
the floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay. It would be great to have a no-fly zone, but we know what that can lead to. Okay, whoever does it, it can lead to more major atomic, nuclear strikebacks, or we don't know. But for me, the first thing is how to protect the Ukrainians who are there, give them water, food, and some kind of protection. I don't know if you like dig or find places like in Kiev where they hide in the metros at night, but I don't know what negotiation would be successful, because we need to find something that would appeal to Putin to stop. I mean, I think, you know, do you give up temporarily now and then take back later? I don't know, really. It's so difficult. And then, because I'm part American too, in the United States, there are people who are very dangerous in their methods, like Trump and others, who say, let's just bomb Russia. I mean, it's completely, we can't take action that will have terrible repercussions. The other thing is that people say Russia is like a mafia situation, and the head protector, if he no longer protects the other mafiosos, you know, what can happen? It's really a waiting game to see if these economic sanctions, if people not approving his actions will take action against him, or if just Ukraine is going to be overrun and all these people murdered. I really don't know, but I think we have to carefully think about any actions we take, except for protective actions, which we are continuing to do. And the big question is, if they cannot leave except to go to Russia or Belarus with protected corridors, I really don't know. It's not an easy game to play.
Yeah, so you feel the same what was Paula's, like we all feel. I am getting a request from Anna Krajins from Slovenia, from the University of the Third Age, that she has an urgent message for all of us. Anna, the floor is yours.
Well, I would like to form a project for us. I share your feelings, I must say, and the solidarity in Slovenia is really great. Our opposition and position, which never comes together to the same point, was immediately introducing new rules how to help refugees and accept refugees without any discussion. The solidarity is of all people, all political options, and so on. But with our feeling, with helping the consequences of something, the consequences of war, I think we'll be more efficient that we do something else, not just help the refugees. Mm-hmm. We have to attack the cause. The cause, who caused it, who started. We have, my proposal is that, because I think non-governmental organizations sometimes in international relations have bigger power than United Nations. I have been working with United Nations some time, and our president as well knows the rules. If one country has veto, nothing is accepted. If the United Nations forces don't have mandate to protect civilians, like in Bosnia, in Balkan wars, 7,000 people were killed, and they had to watch it because they didn't have mandate. They were there. And I believe in power of non-governmental organization, and I believe that we have enough power as a European organization of elderly who experienced Second World War. We know what the war is. This is the biggest criminal. When you have right, without any sanctions, kill people and destroy property. You know, you sue your neighbor because of a cupboard, which is too close to an entering door in your apartment. You can sue. War will destroy the whole building. War doesn't care of the evil it does. And this is the biggest criminal and the biggest mistake in history which can be. My proposal is that we send as an organization a petition to the United Nations. Sometimes it helps, or at least is discussed there if it comes from a free non-governmental organization. And I agree with the discutants who said the Ukraine is not the last one. Slovenia is marked here by Russian political views on the border with Italy. But I don't know if they will occupy Slovenia and Croatia and Czech Republic, that they will stop at Italian borders. Hitler didn't. And we have to help to stop the evil now and here. We cannot fight, but we can write. We can have a voice publicly of this. I'm sorry for Russian people. I like them, that they have to live with such government. They feel the consequences as well as we, Ukraine does. It's not limited to their rights. They have no rights actually to protest, to demonstrate, and so on. You see what is going on. And we have to help to make aware United Nations to reinforce their influence. Of course, they will not, with one veto of Russia, they will not accept anything. There will be no mandate for United Nations Forum. And we have to voice it. We are a strong organization. And I will appeal, Moira, also to our organization, PION, pass it on, that as an international organization, and if many of these resolutions will come to the United Nations, they have to discuss it. They have to find a solution. This is my proposal, a document which we can afterwards think what is the proper thing to say or to write down. And we, of course, will help refugees. You know, we get mails every day. Today I got a mail from a young woman with a child, if I can accept her, and if she can use my address in Ljubljana to come over border. You see, the solidarity is great. People feel solidarity with Ukraine, but we have to stop it. Next country will be maybe Moldavia. There are Russian soldiers there as a help. They came to Georgia as a help. Putin has a long-standing strategy. He's a good strategist, and he doesn't do immediately, but he prepares things. There is a small chapel of soldiers who were captured by Austrian army in First World War, and they made a wooden little chapel. They renewed it, and Putin flew to Slovenia, to a small chapel. This was his move, that we were fighting in First World War. The soldiers were not fighting there, and so on. He's preparing the public opinion that they are present, that the Red Army deliberated Slovenia, our country. That's not true. That's not true. We know about one pilots who were escaped, who were had an accident with an airplane. Nazis, Germans took him down, and the partisans helped him to escape to a hospital. But he died on their way in Slovenia, on their way to a partisan hospital. But no, this is a great monument there for this man and Red Army and so on, not by accident. The leader like Putin doesn't fly to a little Slovenia, a little place, a little chapter by chance or because of his feelings. This is part of his strategy. And we in Slovenia feel it very much so. When we were voting for our foreign ministry, they wanted to have the one who was in good relations with Putin and the ambassador. This is the president's, I think this is unbelievable in international law that the ambassador of Russia was on television saying us, vote for him. Can you imagine? Because he was a puppet and they want to have a puppet for a foreign ministry. Then we can go on and on.
And
we are preparing territory.
Excuse me, I have to stop you because we have so many people here who would like to share.
I just wanted to use some examples and show how important it is that we prepare documents. And
you are very right, because it would be a solution.
To be powerful.
Yeah, if the United Nations step into it.
Thank you for listening my English.
No, thank you so much for coming up with such an important proposal. So we will discuss it, all of us, at the end, but I would like to go back to France now, because Jean Reykapet is waiting for her floor. Jean, you are for the first time with us.
C'est Jean, c'est un monsieur.
Oh yes, so I don't know how to pronounce it in French. So is he here?
Yes,
she or
Jean,
he? He, all right. Oh, excuse me.
Jean, you're
he is
muted.
A new person, yeah.
Can you unmute yourself, Jean? You muted, Jean. John, you muted. Voila.
Sorry. Sorry. I can only back what Moira has been saying before. I will only say one point. It seems obvious today that the solution of what happened to European country has to be dealt by the Europeans. And I don't believe so much with the position of United States of our nation. This is a European problem, and we have to try to find the solution inside Europe and between us and in the European people, I would say today, first Ukraine.
Yeah, so thank you, Joe. So thank you very much for your contribution. I think that we will make some overview of all our proposals, and I would go back to France. Francois, are you with us? Do you want to say something?
I don't know. I think Françoise is not.
Yes,
she is.
I am here.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing, this evening, the Red Cross make a special evening at the TV for Ukraine, for have money to Ukraine, for Ukraine, sorry.
Okay, that's interesting.
Thank you very much. So it is, the huge solidarity, wave of solidarity is crossing Europe. We have, I can watch it 24 hours on our television, what is going on and all the commentaries. So I am coming to Germany. I wanted to ask if Carmen is back with us or not.
I don't see her.
No, she's not.
I don't see her on the list. No. She seems to be very busy with her film. Yeah.
Dirk, it is Germany, it is your country. What are the feelings about Ukraine in Germany?
Well, I can't, obviously, I can't for Germany. I can only speak and share with you what I hear as a person from the circles which I am in, and what is told to me by people. The level of solidarity is enormous. It is extremely high, especially because many people remember what it means, a situation like the Ukrainians are in. And the young population definitely has a very clear position, arguing against any conflict by resolution by war. They say, we think that we have overcome all these past terrible situations, and we are looking for a bright future. Well, having said that, I would like to share with you some personal experiences. I have signed over the last 10 days, and even before, quite a number of declarations of non-governmental organizations asking and pushing for diplomatic solutions and expressing themselves against war, etc. I have done so as a person, but I have also done so and signed these declarations on behalf of our common organization. Obviously, it is right what Galina says. We have to influence our governments. We have to do that individually and through the national organizations which we are members of and where we have a responsibility. When we say civil society, then it is we act in the name of society, not of military society, not of political society, but flat of society, of the humanistic society which we have. You may know that I'm a delegate in the Economic and Social Committee of the European Union. And this Economic and Social Committee of the European Union is called the bridge between the European institutions and civil society in Europe. And we are proud of being there, and we are arguing very strongly as civil society in the way which has been expressed by all of us so far in this meeting. I definitely, and I hope that you are on the same path. We are pleading for a decision of the European Union to immediately open negotiations with the Ukraine for their coming membership in the European Union. The European Union is a peace project. It has been created after the Second World War in order to prevent future wars. And that is the minimum which politically we can do, that we say to the Ukraine, and they feel like Europeans, you are part of our family. We open our house so that you can join it, as many others have done, in order to preserve peace, in order to build a future which is more happy than the past was. That is what I can say for the time being. I can't, unfortunately, I am not in a position to send weapons, but I support that every assistance which helps the Ukrainians to defend themselves effectively is given. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dirk. We are coming to Hungary. Gabor Hegesi.
Thank you, Dana. And of course, warm welcome to everybody, especially to Galina, but also Dirk, who was very sick, and so happy to see you again, healthy, I hope. And I just think that when we got the invitation to this meeting on the 19th of February, everything seemed to be so bright. The meeting was set up for celebrating women, Happy Women's Day, of course, and talking about the Kiev conference. And in a couple of days, everything just changed to the other side, the black side. And we see how quickly our life can change into a drama. What I could add to my friends talking about Ukraine and our feelings, very similar. Of course, there are countries, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, who were victims already of sometimes Nazi Germany or the different Russian regimes, not only in 1956, talking about Hungary, but also in 1849, when the Hungarian Revolution was also defeated by the Russian Tsar. And when I'm talking about Russian, I would like to say, talking about our members who are Russians, we never talk about Russian people. I have many, many friends in Moscow, in various cities, whom I've been corresponding heavily in the last days, and they are crying from morning till late night, and they express their anger about their government, who they cannot do anything. So please feel and accept that we don't talk about those innocent Russian people who are also victims of this system. And I agree with Dirk when you said at the beginning, as an introduction, that Eurodir is such an organization where there are various people with political sides. So we are talking about humanistic drama, not taking part. But I, as a person, I am free to say that we see Ukraine as clearly the victim, and we see Russia, the government of Russia, Putin, as the aggressor. And the most dramatic is to see that actually, and Peter said it very nicely, that we are standing here with empty hands. That actually what would help Ukraine is to go there and to fight with them. And this is exactly what we cannot do, because this is equivalent with the Third World War, which is a terrible trap, and Putin knows this very well and lives with that situation. So we can hope that this is not the last word. The sanctions are around. We just hope that this running competition with time will have an effect on the outcome of the war, and the end will not Ukraine, which is divided into parts and which will lose its independence, but somehow will manage to make a decent contract with Russia. And now I would come quickly what we can do. Of course, still everybody should do what she can as an organization or her country, his country, or a person. Well, here I have to say that though my government was not very nice, in quotation mark, with migrants who wanted to come to Hungary, we built a fence and we hated this. But at this moment, we welcome everybody without condition who come from Ukraine, not only Hungarians, but also Ukraine who don't have Hungarian roots, and who are from third countries, from Africa, India, Pakistan, students, and more than 150,000 people are already here in Hungary. And I would like to join the long queue. Galina, you are always very welcome in Budapest. If life turns that you have to escape. And I would like to also say that I'm waiting for a Ukrainian family, grandmother, mother, and 2 kids, whom I offered our flat to come, and hopefully they will come safe, and then they can go back to Ukraine if life turns like that. My university offers education to those who are escaping from Ukraine, who want to take part in English-speaking or Hungarian-speaking classes. And we collect money and we collect food, and we send it to the border to help those who are running from Ukraine with almost nothing. And also I must say that yesterday we had a big demonstration at the Hungarian television, which sometimes says nonsense about the war. And tomorrow we will have a huge peace demonstration in the heart of Budapest, where I think many thousands or tens of thousands of people will come together, and we will express our complete support for Ukraine and for the peace. And I personally hope, Galina, that you and your friends living in Kiev, and if I imagine what you have to go through, I mean, it's just terrible. You are the target of the Russian troops, and I just really hope that somehow you will save and survive, and everybody, more than people, survive, and we have to stop, or we are able to stop the Russian troops without really occupying Kiev, which has to have a terrible loss of people and houses and facts and everything. So I'm so sad. And we are really with you, Galina, and we are always think what we can do beside sanctions, word, money. Let's hope. We are completely with us, Galina. From all my heart. We love you.
Thank you, Gabor. Thank you very much. And I wanted to add that the Czech Republic is opening the Ukrainian classes for the kids, because we don't expect that all of them would like to assimilate. So the classes will be run by Ukrainian teachers in Ukrainian language. I am coming to Ireland. May, are you still with us? I know that you have been here, but you told me that you couldn't stay for the full meeting.
No, I can't. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and a special good morning to Galina. I think your talk was so heart-rending, and the people of Ireland are making the Ukrainian people very welcome, and we are doing what we can. But words are not enough. They are not enough. And we in Ireland know all about this because we suffered British rule for God knows how long. And we also suffered, bombing and things like that. So we would know, Galina, what you're going through. But we had a gentleman yesterday in a truck, which was a very bad thing to do, but he reversed it into the gates of the Russian embassy. And now he didn't go across because that's Russian territory, if you like, but he broke the gates because he was so upset at what he saw on television about people being shot and whatever in the streets. But, I feel sorry for the Russian people as well, because they're not responsible for what their leaders are doing any more than we're responsible for what our leaders are doing. But as I say, words are not enough. But I think that Anna's suggestion about organizations writing to the United Nations, I think that's a wonderful idea. And I'm going to speak to some of the organizations that I belong to and ask them to do that from Ireland. So hopefully, that something will come of it. But as Dirk said, look what happened in Germany. He was born in 1941. Well, I was born in 1940. And in Ireland, you'd be called a war baby. So it's not a very nice title to have. But anyway, we were always neutral here in Ireland, but we're not neutral in respect of what's happening in Ukraine. We're actually behind you 110%. And we are sending food, and the people that are coming in from Ukraine, as Dana said, we're providing them with jobs. They're getting what we call a PPS number, which means they're eligible for everything. They'll be able to vote, they'll be able to do what they want to and stay here and maybe be happy here, even though our weather is absolutely awful. But I'm sure the weather won't bother them as long as they feel that they're safe. And Galina, I wish you so well. And as Dana said, she has invited you to stay in her house, as several other people have. And I live in the country in Ireland. So if you feel you want to run out of there at any stage, you're very, very welcome to come and stay here and look out the window at sheep and cows, because that's all we have down here. And look, folks, your solidarity with Ukraine has been amazing to listen to this morning. And I just hope that this thing will be over soon. And I see some Russian members here, and I feel incredibly sorry that this is happening, you know, from the leader of your country. So you can't control that, but anyway, our thoughts are with you as well. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, May. So now I'm coming to Israel. Razi Tzvank, who has his own experience with the war, never-ending war in his territory. Razi, are you with us still? I could see him a while ago. Razi?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, good.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Well, I would like to refer, first of all, to what John from France said before. John, are you here? John from France, here?
Yes.
He said that the fight against Ukraine is a European issue. Well, you couldn't be more wrong. You could not be more wrong, because the issue is human rights. The issue is solidarity. The issue is mutual responsibility. The issue is human basic rights, and these are not rights belongs to Europe. It's an overall, the world basic rights that were abolished brutally by Putin, because I don't think that most of the Russian people supported this act. Now, we are in a problem in Israel, and I must tell you that. I myself belong to Ukraine because my family came from the Ukraine in 1919, from Odessa, of course, and my roots are in Ukraine. And my heart is with Galina. Really, my heart is with Galina. I know that you are going through a hell these days. And if you want to come to Israel, you're more than welcome. It's more quiet here just now. Now, we are a problem as a state of Israel because Russian is on our border. And Russia and us have special relations that allows us to protect our skies from missiles, Syrian and Hezbollah missiles and Iranian missiles. And we have a direct line to Putin. This is one thing that you have to bear in mind. Now, Iran, unfortunately, is on our border now. And we cannot open 4 or 5 fronts against our attackers if we are going to be in a totally negation of Putin's policies. We can help, we are doing this. We are about to absorb 150,000 Ukrainian refugees, which is not a small number. Most of them are non-Jewish. Only minority of them are Jewish, people that came to Ukraine from Poland, once people who came from Israel to Ukraine to do business in Ukraine, students and so forth and so on. So most of the people that I will come to Israel, the 150,000 refugees, are not Jewish, and we are open our borders to them willingly and open-heartedly. But you have to see that we cannot help Ukraine with weapons. We cannot. We help Ukraine today, even today, by shipping 3 or 4 our planes full with a medical support, and not only medical, but food support. And even we are trying to contribute money. And we are doing it mostly on the Poland border. I think that Anna suggested the manifest to the United Nations. It's a wonderful idea. Sorry, but I would like to add, we have to send a united manifest to our governments, because I don't know, I'm not sure that our governments are really, really committed absolutely to the cause of Ukraine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Razi. We can see, you know, the two sides of this matter, that it is not everything so simple and black and white and one could possibly expect. So I am giving the floor to Latvia. Alisa Loise from RASA organization. Alisa?
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So on the very first day of the invasion of Russia to Ukraine, we sent our message of solidarity to Galina as a of meetings, demonstrations, and even today there is one demonstration in support and solidarity with the Ukrainian women. And this demonstration is held near the embassy of the Ukraine in Riga. So, and also there was a very nice concert. The people gathered near the Russian embassy on the third day of the invasion, and it was rather cold that day. It's about -3, and they had a concert. They sang songs themselves, both Latvian and the Ukrainian, to show that we support Ukrainians in this war. And it was still demonstrated to the embassy of Russia. And so, and just now our government is doing lots of efforts. They finished with the broadcasting of Russian channels on the territory of Latvia, because these channels, they were full of military propaganda and brainwashing. So, and now, as Latvia, also as all the Europeans are looking forward to get to diminish the influence of Russian gas and their supplies to our country, and we are looking for alternative supplies of gas. So not to be dependent on Russia and their military clique. So, and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Monday assured Latvian and Lithuanian republics of NATO protection and American support as he made quick visits to two of these Baltic states, and that are increasingly on the edge as Russia presses ahead with its invasion of Ukraine. As you know, Latvia, a former Soviet republic with a large Russian ethnic minority, received NATO reinforcements on the alliance's eastern flank bordering Russia in the build-up of the war. Latvia has confirmed its support for Ukrainian independence, sovereignty, and territorial indivisibility. So, and we are collecting now medicals and money in solidarity with the Ukrainian. One of our factories producing furniture has transferred 1 million euros to the Ukrainian government. So, and also there are donations of smaller number, but still we are just now opened the border for European refugees. And today they reported the first birth of a baby from the Ukrainian family here in Riga. So, and our alliance is also against this aggression in the Ukraine. And we also want to be of help for them. And if Galina can name us what we can actually do for them, we'll be gladly of help. So, thank you.
Thank you, Alisa. So we know that you will probably not be attacked because Russia will not dare that, because you are protected by NATO, and it is, you know, probably what Ukraine needs in the future. So I would like to give the floor to the Lithuanian girls, Virgilia and Rita and Liliana. So Virgilia will speak, I was told. Lithuania.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I do not know what can I say, because I now full of things every much. I now have sick of COVID, so it is terrible to understand that I am laying on my bed, I am looking for TV, and the sick of COVID also is in Ukraine. They also have a lot of sick and other diseases, and they have not here to have hospitality or other doctors services. So it is terrible to think that we live today very good in how lives Ukrainians. I visited Ukraine 2 years ago. I lived in Maidan Square in Kiev. It was the end of May, wonderful weather. The city celebrated its anniversary. The new bridge connected Volodymyr Hill and Ark of the Friendship of the people. We walked that bridge. The city was full of happy people. On Maidan Square until 2 p.m. the music was playing at night. There were amazing fountains. There were a lot of people around. I will never forget those images. Ukrainians are very warm people. Lithuanians and their nations have strong historical ties since the time of Grand Duchy of Lithuania, a year from the 13th century. In 50th century, in 50th, it was the largest country of Europe. However, the renewed Republic of Two Nations in 1792 was occupied by the Russian Empire, and the eastern territories of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania annexed to Russia. And I will never understand how Putin could have treated the whole nation in this way. I am afraid that we have expressed our concern about the situation of the elderly in Ukraine too gently on our website. We must condemn the scoundrels for the Putin who openly destroys the people of Ukraine, their property, their historical values. And this should really be a concern because of the cognitive abilities of the Russian people, especially the elderly, to understand what kind of world they exist in. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the hero.
Thank you, Virgilia. It is, yeah, it just shows that we feel, all of us, absolutely amazed that something like that can be going on. So I would like to give a floor to Olga Skaric from Macedonia.
Dana, I am not able to arrange the picture.
Oh, we can see you anyway.
I am in opposite.
Yeah, it is okay.
Maybe I am in opposite also, I don't know. Because what to tell from personal experience here in my life, I was diligently working concerning gender equality. PhD on this subject was. After working as peacemaker, education for peace, for conflict transformation, and always for intergeneration cooperation, for example, concerning Eurag. My message now is based much more on personal experience and suffering, starting from my perinatal trauma, a terrible event engraved in my memory when 3 aircraft bombers in the Second World War, 94-4, postponed my birth. Maybe I will send you an paper. I write it just about 2 traumas in my life. One is connected with this postponed birth. The other great suffering was from dissolution or destroying Socialist Federative Republic of Yugoslavia, when Macedonia decided to be oasis for peace, without soldiers, without weapons, but with closed borders from all sides. Another moment of claustrophobia for me. When waiting to be born, I wait inside. Now the same. After we have this NATO, United States, European Union bombing with depleted uranium on Yugoslavia in 1999. And they discharged unutilized bombs designated for bombing Serbia on the north border on Macedonia here near Skopje, causing many people cancer disease and death, and including 3 from my family. Now in this day we have this ecological and health devastation. utilizing a big place on south of Macedonia is NATO training center, please, NATO training center. And working for peace when was internal war in Macedonia in 2001 between UČK or OVK, Albanian soldier, supported by NATO, and the other side, Macedonia army, really was very hard work to establish peace in Macedonia after this. For example, in this time we had 3,050 refugees coming from Kosovo. For Macedonia, this is enormous. And after following many wars in different time historically or in different place nowadays, my message is to pray and demand people from all generation, from different gender identities, believers, atheists, agnostic, different ethnicity, with different language, etc. Be active from grassroots with civilian society organization to stop the war and armament, be for disarmament and demilitarization in all countries, including Russia in this moment. Or maybe it's necessary to say also to try to accept through negotiation and dialogue to stop the war, but also to have a neutral status of Ukraine. And it's necessary to recognize inside the existence of other than only Ukraine's ethnicity, and to permit them to speak, for example, or to teach on mother tongues, which is not a good example. We know this. Try together, what? To stop war profiteers, stop NATO, stop United States, stop European Union. They try to provide money for weapons and to send soldiers in Ukraine. And this means a message, try to liberate ourselves from liberators, helping with weapons and arms. This is army, military forces. I address grandmothers, mothers, men and women together from all generations. Try to go toward peace and understand the lesson we have. The only way to peace is through peace, justice, and love. In this moment, just my family is ready and open to host, to help people from Ukraine. If somebody asks, we are ready to open the house in Skopje or in Doirandis, because summer is coming. I think it is enough. Stop the war, armaments, weapons. Just I am astonished that you try to put money, weapons, soldiers for peace. No, this is not peace like this. Okay, enough.
Thank you, Olga. I am not absolutely positive that everyone would agree with your words, because if someone attacks you in your home and claims that they will not stop until you resist, so I think that it is a sick, mind that can express something like that.
I am opposite in the picture and in telling the solution.
Yeah, but if someone attacks a peaceful country, so there must be some, it is a law of action and reaction. If they don't protect themselves, so what would happen to them? So
was possible to negotiate, to have dialogue, but was not done. It was possible to be neutral, non-aligned with big forces, military, and now we are suffering, all of us.
Yeah, but
thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts. I am moving to Netherlands. Jaap van der Spek.
Yeah, a lot is said already, but first of all, Galina, I feel myself so powerless, and I know so do whole my country. Yes, we collected yesterday 120 million euro for helping Ukraine, the Ukraine people. Yes, we sent and are sending weapons. Yes, we offered rooms in our houses for refugees. Yes, we understand why you stay in your city. Through all what is happening there. But we know it is in your eyes not enough for the people in your country. What we can do more than we do, I don't know. So I said, I feel myself so powerless. I agree with all what you are saying until now, you all, and in special what the proposal of Anna. I think Eurag has a lot of humanity reasons for sending a letter to the United Nations, to the European Union, and to send to all our governments. We have humanity reasons for it. Yes, we are an organization without political aims. That's true. But what is happening now is that other politicians are taking over our ideas over humanity, human rights, and so on. For me personally, it is clear there is an aggressor. We all want to live in peace. Also the people in the Ukraine does. And I am sure the most of the population of the Russian people has also the wish to live in peace and to live in peace with other countries. But there's one leadership who has broken this all. And that's why the question for me is how we can stop and how we can all stop Putin and his leadership. Also, I said, for all the people in Russia, so many are not free there. I hope and I pray that the Russian population is not accepted it longer and not accept a dictator as Putin and not his leadership. And yes, that's my wish, but I know it is a little bit like a utopia. But it's the only thing I can say. My heart is so with you, Galina, in the Ukraine, knowing what's happening there, knowing what you are feeling, and your wish to stay with your people in your city and in your country. And I hope and pray for you that all what is happening now on the diplomatic way to find solutions, that they also find solutions for you, for your people, for your country. And my wish is that we can say over a couple of months, we go to Ukraine, to Kiev for our conference there, because yeah, that's the only thing I can hope for you and your people, and offering money and help and all what we can do in this terrible dilemma. That's the problem, because we know what you are, what you want to have in our support, but there's also the other side of what's happening when we get in the World War III. So that the dilemma is for all of us a big problem, and I hope we find solutions to break down the dilemma and to help you for a good future. Sorry, I cannot say more to you. I do not have more instruments, only my love, and I cry with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaap. And I would like to give a floor to Poland. Grażyna Buza, if she is still with us, because Poland is the neighboring country, and they are getting the most of the refugees, already over 1 million. As far as I know, Poland didn't ask for any help from the European Union. They are still mastering it themselves, and it is absolutely amazing and admirable. Grażyna, are you still with us?
Yes, I managed to connect at home because I was on the way. At the moment I am at home. So it is very nice to see you all, and especially Galina, of course. And well, I don't know what to say. We are really try our best in Poland from the first minute of this situation, and even before, because we have expected that for a long time. We have been expecting that. And we also tried, some of our politicians, to warn against this situation. This is not happened just from one day to another. That was a long period, long process of making this person, Putin, strong and stronger. And this is the result. Yes, so we are talking about the result of the long, long process. And we all were looking at that. I am talking about us, because we all understand that not everything depends on us. We don't decide. But a lot of politicians and people who are engaged in politics were warning against this situation. It happened, yes, and we should learn from that, and we should think about the future. Now in Poland, I don't want to say what we are doing, how we are doing, how we are organizing all of that. This is over 1 million persons at the moment. This is absolutely general mobilization in Poland on each level, from the government, different governmental institutions, to the local societies, local governments. So everyone is engaged somehow. Yes, in any way we can do that. But what is very important for me, of course, all these proposals to create in the name on behalf of Eurag, the official petitions, letters, and everything to the international organizations. It is, of course, a very, very good idea, and I think that that's all what we can do. But we, each of us, can do something in our communities, in our societies, because we are also in the time of the information war. And this is very, very dangerous. If we won't be able to to decide what is true, what is not true, what information are really the information we should believe in and what are not. That will be a great chaos, and we will not be able just to make the proper decisions. And just to, this is so hard to prevent this clear, clear brain in order to decide right way. And it is always for me personally and for most people in Poland, one thing. We know and we should know where is the good, where is the evil, and to recognize who is bad, who is good, yes, and not to blur the responsibility. It is true that this is not responsible for the whole society in Russia, but it is absolutely necessary to do something to strengthen this civil society in Russia, to give them, I don't know how, this is so many years. We have also overcome in Poland the long-term Russian, occupation, we can say, not only in Poland, in different countries. And we always, over and over again, tried to overcome this. We were fighting for our independence as civil society, and this is for me. I think that we understand Russian, Ukrainian people, and also Latvian, Lithuanian better because we are somehow one family. But I don't understand how it is possible for so many years and years in Russia not to create the civil society. Only this civil society can change something in Russia, not weapon, not some sanctions or other things. Maybe it will lead to that way, but it will also take time. But it is necessary, absolutely, to change this way of thinking. We can't do anything. No, it is, we have given in several countries this example. Yes, we can change everything if we only want to, yes, but this disinformation and this absolutely, that we have a lot of Russian agencies and agents in European countries. And if you are reading the Facebook or other publications, and also in the journalistic publications, there are so many manipulations, and it is so important to fight with this disinformation. So we are in the period also of war, information war. So there are different kind of strategies, and not only military strategies, but also strategy in information, in cultural influence and any kind. So this is important to be aware of that. And to Galina, we will be doing, sorry for my dog is here. We will be doing everything what we can. We are open for you, for your families, for children, women, because there are mostly children, women, older persons.
Stay at home. Thank you.
Everything what we can do, we are doing, and we will be doing all the time.
We know Poland is our very reliable friend. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Many years.
Thank you, and all the best to you. We are with you. We are suffering with you because we understand that very.
You understand. Thank you. we should overcome that. Thank you.
So thank you for this meeting also, Dirk and Dana. This is very important, and we can meet and talk about this. So thank you.
Thank you, Galina. Thank you, Grazina, for being with us. And we are getting, I hope we are getting just the chance to reflect to what you said, because Svetlana Hansen and Aleftina Shakova from Russia, they represent the civil society. Are you still with us, Svetlana?
Yeah, we are with you, and it's not just a word. And me and Vladimir Sablin together, we are here. Okay. And first of all, do you hear me good?
Yes. Right? Yeah.
Okay. First of all, our very, very strong regretting about what happened and what is happening. And today it was not very easy for us to participate, because it seems that we feel ourselves as if we are very close to the wall and everybody could shoot us with their demands and with their disagreement. But despite of it, we decided to participate because here in Russia, we are maybe not the majority, but we are the people who express a great shame and regretting, and also sympathy to the people in Ukraine. And we are very strong, sorry, that we really could not stop the war. We tried, we make a lot of efforts. We have several by today steps to influence the regime. First of all, we are the civil society on behalf of a lot of people from NGOs, from the education, from culture. We have signed open letters towards government and president to reduce and to stop the military forces in Ukraine. Also, we sign a lot of petitions. Another way is to go to the meetings, and me particularly did it, but it's very dangerous because there's a lot of policemen and a lot of forces that with a very cruel way stop any actions on the meetings. Also, we have a great consolidation now of civil society, but you know that it's not the majority. And some of my colleagues and partners now are leaving the country because they couldn't support what is happening. And also they in some internal war with their citizens around. And I could say that even and in my family, I face a war with relatives, with some colleagues and friends of another position. And here it's a war between people inside. And I'm sure that probably it will end by something very, very strong as, for example, revolt. As we have a lot of now movement about impeachment towards Putin. But we also understand that it needed a lot of consolidation in elite and in maybe military forces to try to change the regime what we have now. But I agree with the Polish colleague that what is happening now was created and get force from the very long away time. And our civil society is very, very weak to make a resistance now and try to really to stop what is happening. But I would like to deliver words to my member of our organization, Vladimir Sablin, who would like to tell about the information war that we have now in this society.
Hello.
Hello.
My opinion is, unfortunately, the great part of
seniors in Russia are seeing the official TV channels, and they believe the government opinion. They support the Kremlin regime, and it's too difficult to change this situation. It's a Russian reality.
And I could add that it's a great propaganda, and a lot of people are very much influenced by propaganda. And the very strong slogan in their media channels, and even in the internet now, because the Facebook is blocked and some other networks are blocked. And the main slogan that very much influences, especially the elderly and the people who were born in the Soviet Union, that this is war. It's not the war, it's a special operation against Nazis, against designification and demilitarization of Ukraine. It is not the war with the population. It's not, we try to care all the citizens, but it is the war with the military forces of Ukraine. And nobody is killed as a proper person, only military forces and infrastructure. And people here, they believe that it is not a war. And you should take in mind this informational war that is happening. And people here, they're like prisoners because they're completely awkward by their thinking and by their information that is directed towards brains. And they could not resist because they believe in justice, they believe in the government, they believe in president, that nothing worse could happen with the people in Ukraine. We don't know about the killing soldiers. We don't know about the amount of it. This information is closed, and you should understand what is happening in our hearts, in our minds, because here it's a great, like, circle, very, very strong circle of another context, of another meaning of what is happening. And we really sacrifices, not me, because, you know, my position was every year and every time I was very against the regime that reduced the democracy here, year by year. And we did a lot of not to create something like authoritarian, totalitarian regime, but my forces and the forces of my colleagues is not enough for such big society. And now, for example, particularly me is in a great crossway. And for example, together we are with my colleagues here to decide what we should do further, how we could go by the road of NGO further, how we could live with what is happening, whatever, wherever we could live with such situation. And you should only know that, for example, we lose some members of my community because of disagreement with the position of the organization with my position towards this situation. And finishing all these words, I maybe would like to tell you that it's very important now, your opinion, your attention towards what is happening, and very thin year what is happening. Very understandable and wise position. It's, as Dana said, it's not black and white. And here people, they don't think that they create a bad thing, that we are evils. No, we're with another point of view, most of the people here. Thank you for their attention.
Thank you both for being with us, because I think that for us it is broadening our understanding of the whole situation. We know about it from our information sources that it is the general attitude of the Russian citizens, that they just believe that nothing wrong is going in Ukraine. But we can see the bombs on maternity hospitals and nursing homes and residential quarters, and killing children and elderly. And so it is, we can see, it from the different angle. But thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for actually showing the courage, to explain what the position of Russia and Russian people is in the whole conflict. Yeah, thank you so much. So now I am coming to Slovenia. Josica Puhar. Josica, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you very much for the floor. I wouldn't like to repeat what Anna said before. She described a very good situation in Slovenia. I also perhaps add some information about the protests which were organized from civil society and also from the governmental side. The help which was organized from the government to the Ukrainian people, and also with the means for the fighters, for Ukrainian fighters. Today is also the concert on the Central Public TV, where they will collect contributions and donors to help Ukraine. But after this, I would like to express my deep sorrow for the people in Ukraine and also for the ordinary people in Russia, because they surely didn't share the ambitions of their president to take a force towards Ukraine. I'm all the time with Galina in my mind, I also explained the situation to my colleagues in my organization, and they share the feelings. But as we are the great organization with wide range of members, I fully support the idea to make public our condemnations of unacceptable Russian feature and express solidarity with the innocent population, which is becoming the biggest victim of the conflict, and demand diplomatic features, diplomatic negotiations, and demand peace. It would be sent not only to the United Nations, as you said before, but also to European institutions and also to our governments. I mean that they are aware of the danger of the spread in the conflict, but we must express our attitude toward the human rights and toward the future of us and our children. I'm very much scared because of our children. They are confused. They don't understand the things. They are asking where the diplomatic negotiations will go further. They see a lot of hope in these features. So it is on us to explain them the situation, to bring the morality to them also, because they are also all the time in social media, and there's written everything. They don't know what to believe and how to think. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jessica. And now we are moving to Switzerland. Roland Grunder. Roland?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, good morning, everybody. And I will, first of all, share all what you said. Switzerland is not away from the whole thing, even if Switzerland is still a neutral country, but we shared all the decision of the European Commission. I would like to, first of all, to have and to express my great respect to Svetlana for her declaration, because there are two countries in war together. And of course, I agree, and I'm full in solidarity with Ukraine, but it is not a war between countries. It is a war and between people, as is a war, a political war, it is a philosophic war, which we can only say no to it. And that's only, but respect to you, to your expression, and of course, my solidarity to Galina. In Switzerland, we tried to make our best, as everywhere you did. Switzerland is still open to have on our territory the discussion on peace, as it's every time we had it last year between Russia and United States, and today we offer our the possibility to the politician to share and to discuss in our country, and to go on with the negotiation for peace as soon as possible. Many demonstration has been also in Switzerland. Many thousands of people are going down the streets and to show their solidarity. More than 10,000 families are open the door, are on a list awaiting of refugees coming. Well, free transportation is open in Switzerland, and children, Ukrainian children, can go to school to live quite normally for this time until they can go back home. Then Switzerland expressed to our solidarity to both parts, even once again to Russian people, because I don't think they agree with this war. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Roland. We can see the huge wave of solidarity throughout Europe from all the countries. So I am so grateful that all of you developed the effort to be here with us today. And now we are coming to the United Kingdom. Elizabeth Kletter, are you with us? Elizabeth? Is she with us still?
I look.
Yes, she is.
Yes. No. Elizabeth? No.
Elizabeth Kletter or Valeria Budjager?
Valerie is not, and Elizabeth, I don't see. No. Okay.
They both applied to, registered for this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all right. So we are coming actually to the end of I am coming to the end of my list if the British are not with us, and I would like to give a floor again to Galina and to Dirk. Galina.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for your very kind words. Thank you for your support. Can I show you a small picture? Can you?
No.
Can you allow me to show a small picture?
No, we can't see.
Wait a minute. You want to show it on your screen? Attendez, partager.
You have to allow her to share the screen.
Perhaps Didier?
No, you can't. Okay.
Okay.
Il faut autoriser le partage, hein. Elle peut partager son écran.
Elle peut partager son écran?
Oui.
Okay, Galina, you can try to put it on your screen.
I'll try to do it.
To share your screen. It's allowed now. Bah ouais, tu peux lui envoyer. Elle parle anglais, hein, c'est sûr. Oui. Envoie-lui. Elle va être contente. Ouais. Attends, elle est en train de chercher un truc. Ouais.
Well, so what can I tell you? I greatly appreciate everything which is being done. If we shall survive, we'll be happy to have all these beautiful things you sent to us. Now we can hardly take this because it's impossible to deliver neither food nor things to the cities which are really very heavily bombed now. You know, so many people have moved to other countries from Ukraine. Who knows whether they will come back and where to will they come back if their cities are broken, their homes are also broken. Perhaps they will stay with you and will become your citizens of your countries. I don't know what will be next in Ukraine. This night, 2 planes, 2 aircrafts, Russian aircrafts were killed above Kiev city. I don't know how long we shall stay because our armed forces are not that big and that strong as the Russian. So it's true, we understand that. So if we survive, we shall survive. If not, then I only can tell you goodbye. Because now they don't stop. They continue bombing us and killing us. You are afraid of the World War III. I understand that. I fully understand that. But the war, do you see this picture now? Can you see the picture?
No.
No. You must
okay.
Click on share your screen and then wait a minute, no. And then you can choose your picture from your computer normally.
Can you see it?
Yeah, now we can see it, yes.
You see the figures. This comparison between Russian armed forces and Ukrainian.
Yeah.
How long can we resist?
Yeah. Sure.
Now we have less. Of course, we do our best to resist. Of course, we want to survive. We want to overcome. I hope we'll manage. So, unfortunately, the Russian pilots, when they bomb our cities, they see no demonstrations, they see no slogans, they see no protesters. They even don't want to see the cities they want. So what we need more weapons, we need aircraft, planes. All the Soviet, they're about 70. Was a treaty. They are still alive, very old, 30 years old aircraft. We need this. We need them to close this sky. And perhaps later on we shall need those things which you collect and take to our border. We can hardly move them all over Ukraine because the Russians shoot everything, buses with people, lorries with food and things. So, thank you for all your support, for all your sympathy and your compassion.
Did you see the message from Virginia again? It's about influence our governments to ask for the quick inviting Ukraine in EU. I don't know if it helps in some way, but here we can make private petitions. I mean, private petition, you say in French, I don't know in English, and then send it to our governments to influence our governments or send it to Brussels, I don't know, to invite Ukraine in the EU. It doesn't change too much at the moment, but it's one thing.
Who knows?
But yeah, the application has been done from Ukraine already to enter the EU.
Yeah, a long time. But
no, but now I think that the president signed it, and now they promised a quick procedure of that, which is the way how to help the Ukraine after they, just to recover from this war and all the destroyed buildings and services.
First we will need to survive and then recover.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can enjoy being in the EU.
In EU and paying with European money.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't lecture you. I can't persuade you. What will save Europe from the World War III? Perhaps Ukraine saves you from the World War III. Who knows?
Yeah,
I think we are together. Either we are fighting together, or they will kill us one by one. This is your choice.
Galina, we all feel that Ukraine is sacrificing for all of us like the threshold.
Very helpful for us.
Yeah, I know, but at least, you know that we do understand, we do understand the situation quite well. We are not blind, we can see it, what is going on.
But I understand you don't want the World War III. It has already started.
Yeah.
It's already. Yeah. So if we are being killed now, then when we are killed, then they will come to you. You know that, you understand that, but you don't want to tell, yes, it happened. Sorry.
At least we are ready to share our homes with all the Ukrainians who.
No, you can't accommodate 40 million.
I know.
You
but
can't
at least
accommodate country. So the country, the culture, this country, the history, either survive or they will be scattered all over Europe and everywhere, and Ukraine will not exist anymore. Do you want this?
We don't believe that. It would be only temporary, Galina. Believe that. It would not happen. People would go home.
Russia wants us to be back. They want Ukraine to be back. Then they will like Poland to be back, Lithuania, Latvia, and others. So they want to have another Soviet Union. We do not want. We resist.
Nobody wants you to go back to Russia, because
if Ukraine is occupied, so the remnants of Ukraine will become the part of Russia. You know that, you understand that.
Anna, I would like to wrap up.
Dirk, please.
Galina, we do understand your feelings, and as many have expressed, we are ourselves feeling without being really able to help substantially in material goods, etc. But there's one thing which we can draw from this session. That is that every member of Eurag, every person who participated today is ready to give as much as she or he can. Whatever is possible, we shall do it. We shall give all our compassion, and that is a deep feeling, a deep human feeling. We are offering our total solidarity, and we will provide as much personal support as we can. And there's a second promise. That will not be only a thing of today. It will be a process. It will be a process over the next weeks, months, years, and probably decades, because we have to rebuild something which is destroyed right now and may disappear, but we don't want that. We want to keep it. As a conclusion, I pick up one of the major proposals, that is to send a special letter of Eurag to the United Nations, to the Security Council, but also to the Council of Europe,
Yes.
with its 47 members,
Yeah.
and to the European Union, and express what has been discussed today, our full support and our extremely insistent and strong demand that those who carry political responsibilities, they stand to these responsibilities and behave responsibly. They will get, if they do, they will get the support of civil society. If they don't, they will be opposed by civil society.
Yes.
That is my conclusion. And in the board, we will draft such a letter, which then we will share later with you all. But we do it as elected responsible persons on behalf of Eurag, and we shall do it quickly, and not only in 2 weeks or whatever it is, but immediately. Thank you very much for your attendance today. It was one of the happy moments is that we could see each other. The unhappy moment is the general situation. Whatever we can do to change it, we shall do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you.
So I have one question, Dirk, please. Can we demand in our resolution or in our letter, can we demand the United Nations forces to keep peace in Ukraine, or it is
nuclear power plants, at least nuclear power plants. They are Chernobyl and Zaporozhye.
Dana, in this case, you take the initiative and you send around to the board members a first draft. We will then work on it.
Okay.
Very wise. Thank you.
May I?
Yeah.
That
Peter.
it is just as important what we heard from St. Petersburg to support the NGOs in Russia. We have a great responsibility to keep the contact with the people of Russia, to tell them that we are not against the people of Russia. It is just as important. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is. Thank you very much to all of you. And we will share with you a new date when we hope that the situation will have improved and that we can say what we discussed today and what we did afterwards had some effect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye,
very
everybody.
much for attendance.
Bye-bye.
Galina,
Bye-bye.
we are with you in our thoughts.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Don't forget about nuclear power plants.
Держись, Galina, держись.
Yeah, and we
Good.
think that the United Nations are here, you know, for this purpose, to
Yes,
keep peace.
but
Exactly.
Not yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we will work on it.
Let's
Yeah.
hope. Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.